Hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's start. I needed to know exactly what they wanted, and I needed them to look me in the eye when they asked. I wasn't going to be manipulated. Not again. My fingers grazed the cashmere scarf hanging by my door, a quiet reminder of everything I'd survived. But I had to face them. That thought alone made my chest tighten. Clara, you know that folder you've been keeping? The screenshots, the visitor logs? Bring it, just in case. Harper's words came to me that night, gentle but firm, a lifeline to the truth if they tried to rewrite history. I hadn't opened that folder in months. Yet that night, I sat on my bed, scrolling through 2 years of evidence. Texts, call logs, hospital visitor records, all marked with my name on top and empty columns where visitors should have been. My life, meticulously documented, my absence immortalized in paper and pixels. Sunday arrived too quickly. I dressed deliberately, not to impress, but to armor myself. Black slacks, a cream silk blouse, the cashmere scarf draped over my shoulders. I looked successful, healthy, whole. Harper's last text before I left read, "Remember, you don't owe them a thing." She was right. I had survived cancer. I could survive a dinner. The drive to my parents' house in Newton felt unnervingly short. The house loomed ahead, the white colonial with black shutters, pristine and intimidating. The same house I had grown up in but never belonged to. The house where love always came with conditions. I sat in my car for a moment, studying the warm glow from the dining room windows. Inside, I imagined my mother setting the table with the good china, the Waterford crystal, the sterling flatware, all the props of a family that looked perfect if you ignored the absence. My phone buzzed with another text from Harper. "You've got this." I opened the front door, and my mother's face appeared, poised between joy and guilt. She hugged me before I could react, Chanel perfume clinging to her like an old memory. "Clara, you look wonderful." I stepped inside, bracing myself. The dining room hadn't changed in years. The mahogany table that sat 12, even when there were only 5 of us. The chandelier that had been in our family for generations. And the photo timeline on the wall, a silent record of what mattered to them and what didn't. My own images stopped at 18, frozen in time. Derek, my golden brother, approached with open arms. I returned the hug stiffly. Megan, seated behind him, hand on her 5-month belly, watched quietly. And then my father. He sat at the head of the table, but he looked different. Smaller, older, his left hand trembling against the white tablecloth. Fear was there in his eyes, raw and unshielded. "Sit down, Clara. We have a lot to discuss." Dinner began under the scrape of silverware and strained silence. Rack of lamb, roasted potatoes, green beans, almondine, the same meal they had always served on important nights. My father cleared his throat. "You all know about my diagnosis, early-stage Parkinson's. I'll need long-term assistance. We believe the best arrangement is for someone to move back home." His gaze landed on me. "Clara, you're the obvious choice." Obvious. Not best, not preferred. Obvious. My chest constricted. My brother nodded as if agreement excused neglect. "You work from home, don't you? You don't have a family of your own." Contributed. I had spent the last 2 years battling for my life, alone, and now I was being offered servitude as gratitude. I inhaled, steadying myself. "Before I answer, Dad, I want to ask something. When was the last time you asked how I was doing?" Silence. My mother's smile stiffened, Derek's gaze lowered, Megan subtly leaned back. "What are you talking about?" my father asked, confused. I held his eyes. "You say I have a responsibility to this family, but when I was sick, fighting for my life. Where were you? Did you even care if I lived or died? Silence stretched, sharp and heavy. I remained calm, rehearsed. Dad, do you even know if I'm still in remission? Do you know my last scan results? Anything at all? His face flickered, confusion first, then defensiveness. You said you had cancer, I reminded him. I had stage 3 cancer, 6 months of chemotherapy, lost my hair, lost 15 pounds, $47,000 out of pocket, and not one visit, not one call answered when I was too weak to stand. You never asked because you didn't care. I reached slowly into my purse, pulled out my phone and opened the folder. Screenshots, logs, official hospital documentation. I laid it on the table, letting it glow under the chandelier. Every unanswered call, every missed visit, every cold text. Silence filled the room. Megan's hand fell from her belly as she read. Derek's face turned grey. My mother's tears fell silently. This isn't about revenge, I said softly but firmly. It's about memory, documentation, proof. You can deny feelings, but you cannot deny this. Remember it when you ask what comes next, because I've learned something vital. When people betray you, you must protect yourself. I stood, collecting my purse, my scarf, my dignity. I can't deal with this right now. 4 words, his own words from 2 years ago, mirrored back. My mother gasped. Derek's jaw dropped. My father's tears fell freely, his authority shattered by truth. I walked past the photos that excluded me, past the crystal and mahogany, past the mother who reached and faltered. The cool evening air hit my face. Relief. My car awaited, the driveway behind me fading. My mother's voice called after me, high and desperate. We're your family. We love you. I turned, calm. Family doesn't leave you alone to die, and love isn't conditional. I got in, started the engine, and did not look back. For the first time in 30 years, I breathed freely. I was finally free. A week later, my mother called. Clara, your father's Parkinson's is progressing faster. He needs daily care. Derek is handling it, but it's difficult. I listened without comment. Derek, golden boy, suddenly asked to sacrifice. My mother confessed understanding why I left. I didn't respond beyond curiosity. 3 weeks later, a text arrived. Clara, I owe you an apology. I see now. I should have protected you. Been there, and I wasn't. I'm sorry. It wasn't asking for forgiveness, but recognition. I sat with it for days. Then I wrote, I hear you. Not ready to talk yet. Her response was immediate. Whenever you're ready, or never. Whatever you need. 4 words. Simple. True. Harper and I reviewed it over dinner. Do you feel hopeful? She asked. I shrugged. Cautiously, yes. That's healthy. Forgiveness isn't owed, but accepting accountability is allowed. 2 weeks later, my father sent a handwritten letter, shaky and uneven. I failed you, prioritizing your brother's happiness over your survival. I see the daughter I pushed away, the woman you became. I'm sorry. I read it once, twice, folded it, and placed it in my drawer. Harper was the first person I showed it to. How do you feel? She asked. I wasn't guilty, not for surviving, not for leaving. Some people will never love you the way you need. That's not your failure, it's theirs. 6 months later, I thrived. Cancer-free, promoted to creative director, mentoring 2 junior designers. My Monstera plant flourished in better light. I was dating James, a high school history teacher, consistent and kind. Harper and I still had Thursday dinners with Elena now, building chosen family, real family. My parents, occasionally in contact, were distant and corrective. Derek visited twice a week. Duty, not love. And that was enough. If you're watching, maybe you're the one left in a hospital waiting room, crying in a stairwell because your family made it clear you're not a priority. It's not your fault. You are allowed to set boundaries. Protect yourself. Say no to those who reach only when they need something. Forgive when you're ready, or don't. 4 words can change everything. Mine were truth, not vengeance. I can't deal with this right now. The mirror of their neglect set me free. Family is who shows up. And sometimes the most loving act is walking away from those who never loved you back.